best introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Be the change you want to see in your world. Gandhi said some very inspiring words that should have moved many. However, what those words did are exactly the opposite. The thing is, the innate flaw with this sentence is, let's go through it. Be the change, that's good, that you want to see in your world. Now, what's the problem with that? Now, being the change is good, but the expectation is that you are going to live long enough to see this change occur. Now, let's say you live for an average of 80 years. That's quite a short time, respectively, for change to happen. And what that does is cause us to be afraid. Afraid that we will not be able to change the world in the small amount of time that we have in it. Now, what that causes people to do, when they're afraid, they think, oh, what are we going to do? We have to change the world, gotta change the world, gotta change. Hungry people, oh, we got this. Okay, let's pick a cause. We picked a cause. And then we're saying, okay, maybe I can't change the world in 80 years, but alone. If I have other people helping me, we could change the world together. What that causes people to do then is thinking, I got this idea. Let's get other people to get the same idea. Like a virus. We can infect, and we can get many people to want to change the world. If we get the whole population of the world to want to change with our ideas, we will change the world in that time frame. The problem with that is that you can't change people. Think about it. You guys have dads. Maybe some of them smoke cigarettes. And don't think about how hard it is to change their smoking habit. Think about how hard it is to change the brand of cigarettes that they smoke. Right? Go home and tell the dad, I have a social experiment, please. Could you smoke Lucky Strike? And he's like, Halas, no, Camel. Camel's a life for me. So that's really difficult. So people can't change, right? But they can learn change. You see, there are two different instances that you can learn change. The first one is, let's say that you don't know what pumpkin pie is. Best pumpkin pie. Let's say you don't even like pumpkins. There's a chance that you will actually try my pumpkin pie just because you don't know what it's like. Maybe it's better than the pumpkins you've had before. Maybe it's got some special dahab pumpkin. The other instance is, let's say that you see a person and they have some kind of trait that is working better for them than for yourself. You would adapt that change. For instance, let's say you study well for exams and you get high grades. Let's say another person studies well for exams, but their grades are not so well. The other person comes to you and asks, hey, how do you get those high grades? And you diverge to them your study method. You didn't tell them to study the way you should, or everyone should study, everyone study the way I do. No, you just said, this is how I study. The person then considers your method, tries it out. If it works for them, they change. Those are the two instances where people change. The thing that holds people back from changing is exactly the deliberate, detrimental force of your effort of trying to change them. Now, think of all the people that have tried to change you. Now think of the people that have actually changed you. Have they ever succeeded?
Yes.
Really? I know my mom still tries to get me to stop gaming. I tell her good luck. Now think of all the people that have actually changed you. Have they ever tried?
No.
The crucial thing is when we stop trying to change other people, we can focus on the more important and deliberate matter at hand, which is to become the change, to be the change we want to see in our world. We have to show our world what change we want to be. Thank you, Toastmasters.